Hi, Assalamualaikum. We are from Bachelor in Accounting, Class AC10, and today we will be presenting our Personal Financial Management 2 group assignment. Our group consists of myself, NURIN HANISAHmp4, Abdul Azim, Aisyah Shafia, and Tina Nafisa. Together, we will explain the different parts of our assignment.
Personal financial management is essential for young professionals, especially those who are just starting their careers. In this case, we focus on Aina, a fresh graduate with a monthly salary of 3,750. Her current commitment include monthly EPF contribution and a small education loan repayment of only 50 ringgit. Despite these manageable commitments, Aina must plan carefully for her other needs such as housing, transport, saving for her wedding, financial protection, investment, and also retirement planning. The purpose of this financial plan is to help her balance her short-term expenses with her long-term financial goal so she can build a stable and secure future.
I am Abdul Azim and I will talk about emergency fund, loan and cash flow. Okay, so first I will talk about emergency fund. Okay, what is emergency fund? Emergency fund is an amount of money that you need to allocate to prepare for any kind of emergency. So there are two types of emergency, which is expense shock and income shock. Okay, expense shock occurred when you need to spend more than usual, such as situation like you need to pay for your medical bill, or you need to pay for your vehicle repair when your car broke down. Okay, next, income shock. Income shock is when your source of income is interrupted, such as when you lost your job or when you need to take unpaid leave due to emergency reasons. Okay, so what is the appropriate amount of emergency fund? Okay, so for emergency fund, you need at least 3 months of your income and not exceeding 6 months of your income. Okay, so fewer than 3 months is insufficient, and higher than 6 months is too much non-productive cash laying around. Okay, so emergency fund also need to be prepared at a platform which is easily liquidate. Also, you cannot put your emergency fund in an account which is high risk. You need to put it in a low risk platform such as savings account. Okay, so based on Aina income, which is 3,750 ringgit, and 11% EPF contribution from her net income would be 3,337 ringgit. Okay, so Aina should at least prepare 10,012 ringgit for her emergency fund. Okay, so I recommend Aina to set aside 300 ringgit for her emergency fund monthly to make sure she have a sufficient amount of emergency fund, and also live her life comfortably. She don't need to cut her expenses too much. Okay, then I will talk about loan. Aina also has a 50 ringgit educational loan that need to be paid each month. Okay, so since 50 ringgit is not a big amount, Aina should just proceed to pay 50 ringgit monthly, and there are no loan restructuring need to be made. Okay, next, wedding savings. Aina also plans to get married in 2 years, so there are a lot of costs that need to be covered. So Aina need to allocate money from now to start covering her wedding expenses. Okay, the costs need to be covered, including registration costs, RM150, Tok Kadi RM250, Nikah venue RM500, simple reception RM500, mas kahwin RM50, cash gift RM15,000 covered by the groom, gift RM2,000 also covered by the groom, wedding venue RM3,000, catering RM10,000, stage decoration RM5,000, bridal attire RM1,000, photography RM1,000, entertainment RM300, door gift RM2,500, and makeup package RM300. Okay, so these are all costs that need to be covered for the weddings. Okay, all those costs total up to RM41,750. Okay, so we minus the cost that only covered by the groom, which is will leave Aina RM24,700, and assuming the cost of the wedding is split up by 2, so the cost that Aina need to cover is only RM12,350. Okay, so based on this cost, Aina need to prepare at least RM550 monthly to achieve her goal, to get married in 2 years. Okay, so the picture beside me is the cash flow statement that covers Aina's whole projected income and expenses. Okay, so we can see that at the end of each month, Aina will be left with an extra RM17.50, which is not much, but all savings and investments are already being considered. Also, the projected cash flow is highly practical and achievable since real life costs are applied to her budget.
Okay, now when we look at housing option, Aina has 3 main choices. The first is renting a room, which costs between $500 to $700 per month. This option is affordable, flexible, and allow her to share utility costs with other tenants. So the second option is renting a whole house or condominium, which will cost around $1,800 to $2,200 per month. While this gives more privacy, it's very costly and would take almost half of the income. Okay, so the third option is buying a house. For example, a property worth $400,000 will require a down payment of about $40,000, and the monthly mortgage would be around $1,800 to $2,000. This is unrealistic for her current financial stage. Okay, so the most practical choice for Aina right now is to rent a room. Okay, we go to the next. Basically, Aina office is located in Bandar Sri Damansara, Kuala Lumpur. Renting a room in this area costs around $600 to $700, but it is very convenient, close to the workplace, and generally safer. If she chooses nearby areas such as Kepong, Kota Damansara, or Sungai Buloh, the rent would be cheaper, around $40 to $600. However, this would mean a longer daily commute and higher transport costs. So the best balance for Aina is to stay in Bandar Sri Damansara, where she can save time, enjoy a safer environment, and reduce travel stress. Renting a room has several advantages for Aina. It is affordable, costing less than 20% of her income. It is also close to her workplace, which helps her save on transport costs. And since she is still single, this option is flexible and suits her current lifestyle. However, there are also disadvantages. Renting a room means she will have limited privacy and will need to share facilities with others. In addition, she will not be building equity or owning an asset compared to buying a house. Overall, the pros of room rental outweigh the cons, making it the most practical choice for Aina right now. Apart from rent, Aina also needs to budget for her living expenses. Utilities such as electricity, water and Wi-Fi will cost around 150 to 200 a month when shared with housemate. Her grocery and daily needs are around 600 to 700 monthly. She should also set aside 90 ringgit to 100 for zakat, which is 2.5% of her income, and give 200 to 300 as an allowance for her parents. On top of that, she should prepare 100 for miscellaneous costs such as medical needs, gift or small prepare. Altogether, her living expenses including rent total around 1,140 to 1,400 per month, which is a realistic budget for her lifestyle.
Hi, okay, right now I'm going to present about Aina transportations. We are going to discuss transport option and recommended the best transport option for Aina, and also we are going to discuss about insurance versus takaful and recommended protection plan to Aina. First, let's look at Aina's transport option. Since her workplace is in Bandar Seri Damansara, she has 3 possible choices: using public transport, buying a motorcycle or buying a car. For public transport, the My50 Unlimited Travel Pass costs only 50 ringgit per month. And if she uses Grab occasionally, that will be another 80 to 100 ringgit. In total, it's about 150 per month, which is very affordable. The advantage is that she doesn't need to worry about the petrol maintenance or loans. However, the downside is that it takes more time and gives her less flexibility compared to owning a vehicle. And the second option is to buy a motorcycle. For example, the Yamaha 15ZR. I don't know how it pronounced. Is it 115ZR? This will cost around 375 to 400 ringgit every month, and including the loan repayment, insurance, petrol and maintenance. It is faster and more flexible, but there are safety risks, especially in a Kuala Lumpur traffic. It's also not very practical when she gets married in 2 years. The last option is to buy a car, such as the Produa Azia 1.0, which is the cheapest entry-level car in Malaysia. However, the monthly cost would be between 875 and 925, almost 1/3 of her salary. While it is comfortable and safe, it will leave her with very little money and for savings or investment. So overall, each option has pros and cons. Next is the cost analysis. From the comparison, public transport is clearly the cheapest, only 150 ringgit per month. The motorcycle is in the middle, costing about 375 to 400 ringgit, and the car is the most expensive, almost 900 ringgit per month. When we break it down further, for the motorcycle, most of the cost comes from the loan repayment, petrol and maintenance. For the car, in addition to the loan, she also needs to pay insurance, petrol, parking and maintenance, which quickly add up. So if we look at the big picture, public transport is the most affordable and sustainable choice for Aina right now. Based on this analysis, the most suitable transport plan for Aina is to rely on public transport for the next 2 years. This option will keep her transport costs very low and allow her to focus on more important financial goals. For example, she can build her emergency funds, save for her wedding, and even start small investments. After 2 years, once she has achieved stronger financial stability and saved at least 6,000 to 8,000 ringgit, then she can consider buying a car such as the Produa Azia. At that stage, owning a car will make more sense because she will be more prepared financially, especially when she is married and may need to travel longer distance. For example, when she visiting her family in Kedah. Now let's move on to protection, insurance versus takaful. Conventional insurance is a contract where the policyholder transfer risk to the insurance company. The fund is owned by the insurer and the premiums are invested, sometimes in a non-Sharia compliance activities. This means it may involve elements like riba, gharar and maisir. While it provides strong coverage, it is not aligned with Islamic values. Takaful, on the other hand, is based on the risk sharing. Participants contribute to a pool and the fund is collectively owned. It is fully Sharia compliant, avoid avoids prohibited elements, and sometimes even returns surplus contribution to the participants. It is also generally more affordable with basic medical plans starting from around 40 ringgit to 100 ringgit per month. So in summary, both insurance and takaful give medical protection. But takaful is more ethical and cost effective for Aina as a young Muslim professional. Finally, the recommended protection plan for Aina, the best starting point is a takaful medical card which costs about 100 ringgit to 150 ringgit per month. This will cover hospitalization, surgery and emergency care, which are the most important protection for someone just starting her career. As her income grows, she can expand her protection by adding a personal accident plan, which about 30 ringgit per month. Which is affordable. Later, when she is married and has dependents, she should also consider life or income protection to secure her family's financial future. If she prefer, she could also look at conventional insurance from companies like Allianz or AIA, but those plans are more expensive, usually like 150 to 250 per month, and are not Sharia compliance. Therefore, the most suitable option for Aina is to start with a takaful medical card. It is affordable, ethical and matches her financial priorities as a fresh graduate. I think that's all from me. I passing the floor to Tina Nafisa for the next present. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. So my name is Tina Nafisa binti Muhammad Hisham, and I'm going to present the part on investment and retirement planning for Aina. So for investment option, Aina has a few choices. First, Amanah Saham Bumi Putra, which is ASB, which is a low risk and it's government-backed investment with stable annual dividends. And then secondly, she got Tabung Haji, which is also safe and it's Sharia compliant and it's suitable for long-term savings. And there's also unit trust via EPFI Invest, which give her exposure to different sectors and are managed by professionals. And then fourthly, she got stocks in Bursa Malaysia. She can choose any company in Bursa Malaysia which have higher risk but can give her higher returns in the long term. And lastly, she got fixed deposit, which are very low risk and is very suitable for short-term savings. So these are the main investment options that Aina can consider based on her financial goals. On the next part, I'm going to talk about investment planning. So for Aina's investment strategy, I suggest she starts small but consistent. She can save like 10 to 15% of her monthly salary, which is around 375 ringgit to 560 ringgit, which most of this should go into ASB and Tabung Haji for stability. And then she can also put small portion into unit trust through EPFI Invest for long-term growth. And at this stage, Aina should avoid high-risk options like crypto or speculative stocks because she is still building her financial foundation. So the important point is to be consistent. So by reinvesting all the dividends, she can take advantage of compounding returns over time. And then for retirement, Aina already contributes to EPF with 11% from her salary and 13% from her employer. So this is about 900 ringgit every month. But EPF alone may not be enough because of some issues like inflation and future expenses. So she should add a private retirement schemes, which is PRS, which also gives her tax relief up to 3,000 per year. And on top of that, she can set aside an extra 200 to 300 every month as additional savings for her retirement. So her target should be around 30 to 35% of her income going into retirement savings. So if she follows this plan and reviews it every few years, Aina will be financially secure and comfortable when she retires. So to conclude my part, by starting early with safe investments and building a consistency a consistent strategy and strengthening her retirement savings with EPF, PRS, and additional funds, Aina can achieve her financial security in the future. And that's all from my part. I thank you, and I will now pass to the next presenter.
Okay, to conclude, this financial plan help Aina both her short-term and long-term goal. She will focus on building an emergency fund and saving for her wedding. For housing, the best choice is to rent a room at around 500 to 700 per month, while relying on public transport as the most cost-efficient option. In the term of protection, she should begin with a basic medical takaful plan. For investment, it is recommended that she set aside 10 to 50% of her income into safe options like ASP and tabung haji. For retirement, her EPF contribution combined with the option of a private retirement scheme will strengthen her future financial security. Overall, the plan is affordable, practical, and sustainable, giving Aina a strong foundation for both her present needs and future good.